Good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. I'm Jeff Snyder. This is BRNAM for Wednesday, October 12th, 2022. And our top story today, an enterprise citizen development platform that makes it a lot easier to adapt to a changing digital world. Joining me now to discuss this and a lot more, Peter Lohri is with Enterprise Iron and Avanash Kadapi is with BizNuvo. Well, Peter, Avanash, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you for the opportunity, Jeff.
Our pleasure, Jeff. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is great. And there's so much going on in the retirement industry. I'm glad we could spend some time talking about some things that people don't necessarily see, but have a great importance. Avanash, I think I mentioned to you offline that I'm a former programmer many years ago and with COBOL and C. And of course, the world has really passed me by in terms of programming. But in terms of evolution, the world of coding and allowing the citizen programmer to code has really evolved. And that's really where BizNuvo is coming from here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Evolution is nothing short of breathtaking journey indeed. Believe it or not, our daily lives seem to be built on the language of the programmers. We furnish, clothe, feed ourselves by going online. Most of the time, recommended by the algorithms itself. Our cars run as much on the fuel, as much on the code as well. And the chances are our readers or your readers are going to read or listen to this on a device whose lifeblood is software. The term the citizen developers, I know we coined this term citizen developers, we've heard a lot of times, and that's one of the evolution of the, not just the programming languages of how the programs and the solutions are built, but what are the aspects of being the developer? What are the different phases of being the development team? The citizen developers actually refer to the users or the techno-functional business users or techno-functional users with or without coding experience. They build business critical applications using no code or low code technology. Citizen developers will be very vital for the future of the success of these organizations. Encouraging citizen developers will help business deal with the speed at which the world is changing. In response to a faster, more agile and digitally oriented world, we need to democratize the access to technology, enabling a broader set of experts to help co-create the technology assets by simplifying the technology and expediting the learning process as well. This is why and how the BizNuvo was born. It's a smart platform that provides a unique zero coding technology with the end-to-end self-service platform capabilities to build enterprise applications. BizNuvo users with no programming background can become co-creators of the software solutions, or in other words, citizen developers itself. BizNuvo platform is not just focused on providing the low-code solutions on the small parts of the enterprise or silos within the enterprise architecture, but it enables the users to create the end-to-end complex, large applications at the enterprise grade level. The art of possibilities are limitless, where the subject matter experts can jump right into the solutioning without learning coding or programming, even scripting. It also reduces your technology footprint, increases the throughput with the quality, and tremendously grows the pool of resources to help build and deliver product solutions for the organizations without having to rely on the niche skills.
Yeah, and thank you for that, Avanash. And I know, Peter, you're a veteran of the retirement industry. Enterprise Iron has long served the retirement ecosystem, for lack of a better term. How important, Avanash kind of laid out this citizen developer, this interconnectivity, the ease of use of the BizNuvo platform, but how important in today's world with web app connectivity is being able to just create new infrastructure for your platforms?
Great question, Jeff. And as a veteran of the industry yourself, having the citizen developers being able to get access to the data. The data really makes up the retirement system, right? You need accurate, timely data to provision services to end clients. So along with that data, speed to market is critical. Regulatory and legislative changes that come out, lots of large clients with the ability to say, I need a custom service or program. So BizNuvo with its citizen developers, we found it's 3 times faster and 3 times cheaper to access and integrate that data, whether it's a B2B application or a B2C application, workflow, process automation, integrating business rules or changing the business rules of the plan, microservices or even data and ETL services. Getting that data right and accurate and delivering that to market at speed is the name of the game to, go after what all providers are into. It's basically being able to be first to market with solutions and to keep happy customers and assets in the plans.
Yeah, absolutely. And we know from JD Power's recent survey that participants want to be met where they desire. And so that could be the phone, that could be a tablet, that could be on the computer or some other mechanism. Very rarely do people even call the call center anymore. Avanash, I want to come back to you because I want to talk about deployment. Some folks watching this, and maybe a lot of technology folks watching this, are saying, how easy is it to deploy this infrastructure? Is it difficult? Do I have to go through a very comprehensive change cycle? I've been part of UAT testing, so I know what that was like in the old days, but deployment now is a lot easier.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things I mentioned before, Jeff, is simplifying the technology. So it's not just enabling the citizen developers to use who do not have the programming background, but it also needs to be nimble enough. The platform needs to be nimble enough to be plug and play into the enterprise grid, right? It's not like all or nothing. So that was the thesis and basis behind how we enable the BizNuvo platform to be leveraged. It's a browser-based and cloud-enabled platform. It has what we call it as a smart platform capabilities, which can plug in multiple places, built in open integrations, open API capabilities, database integration. So you can layer your solutions through BizNuvo in multiple layers one by one. So that enables the users to not only go in parts and pieces to address the solution needs as they need, whether it is a front office need or the back office need or the middle office need, creating that middle layer between the front end applications for your channels or the back end record keeping systems or databases or multiple things. It creates a conduit between those two systems with open integration. And most importantly, what we also enable is for our operations users. So most of the time when we actually build the solutions, we focus on the idea, we focus on the technology enables to build the solutions. But what BizNuvo provides is the operationalization capability. So it provides that white box capability where the operationalization of your solution becomes plug and play. With our portal, you can not only monitor, manage your solutions, but audit, inquiry, research with micro and macro level auditing. And most importantly, enabling this technology within your enterprise is very easy. It's a quick learning curve for the users. It's a quick implementation and setup, standing up in hours, if not days. So that makes it easy for the organizations to adopt, leverage, and enable.
I certainly like a short learning curve personally. Peter, as I mentioned in my conversation previously with Avanash, I've been a part of transitions and I've done user acceptance testing, but you and the team at Enterprise Iron have done far more. You're working with a lot of record keepers, asset managers, and so many others in the ecosystem. How has this new technology, as for lack of a better term, this newer platform really sped up those transitions? And look, Peter, we're seeing a lot of mergers and acquisitions now where people are merging record keeping systems. They may go from a FIS system to a DST system. It's really critical in an environment where every plan is unique, has its own rules. You could have 1,000 plans on your record keeping system, That's 1,000 different rules.
Yeah, I mean, you hit on it, Jeff. So earlier we made reference to delivering services to participants where and how they want that, right? We're dealing with everyone from the TikTok generation to the AARP generation. In terms of transitions, right? This is new business coming into a provider, so it's the say hello to the new provider firm. So it's even more critical that this is done properly, on time, and on budget, because many transitions don't survive that first contact with the new provider. So one case example is the industry typically uses lots of Excel reconciliations, VLOOKUPs, macros, line-by-line data analysis. The BizNuvo platform has the ability to take the source data and the destination data and match and validate that and give you a report out almost instantaneously of where things look like they're in sync, where data fields need to get changed. It can do validations, it can do data corrections. So just the ability in man hours and the ability to cycle through client transitions, we found that we can cut the transition time upwards of 50% and use 50% fewer resources. But going back to that, the data is everything, and being able to automate those processes so the system is looking for you, and then you add the human component, right? The common sense, the features, does this field, is it in the same format as with the prior record keeper? Lets you make decisions very quickly and validate that data so that the first experience of those participants is positive and successful, thereby allowing the providers to continue to grow their books of business.
Yeah, look, there are a lot of information officers and business operations specialists who are probably breathing a sigh of relief just listening to you gentlemen talk. Avanash, Peter, we're going to have to leave it there. Very important and interesting information when it comes to new platform development. It's amazing. It really is. Great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thanks for the opportunity, Jeff.
Well, thanks, Peter and Avanash. And when we come back, keeping your plan documents in compliance. It's just not an easy task, but we've got some tips and a lot more. You're going to want to stay tuned right here on BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms, especially for the smaller businesses? I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network.
Are you stuck with a low credit score? A credit report and score that's causing you to be denied credit or pay higher interest rates than others for the same things? Then do what Terrence did and call Credit Repaired for your free credit evaluation to help restore your credit.
I started thinking about buying a new house, and my score wasn't where I needed it to be. I called and spoke with one of the representatives, and we just had a good conversation, and I liked what he was saying.
Just one call for his free credit evaluation was all it took to start back on the track to repairing his credit.
I'm seeing the deletions and I'm getting the report, so I know something's being done. It does make a difference to me.
All it takes is one call to get started.
Credit repair has given me a second chance to have a better credit score.
Don't let a low credit score hold you back another day. Do what Terrence did and make the call for your free credit evaluation.
Call 800-819-4152. That's 800-819-4152. Again, 800-819-4152.
I was out of work for about a month. I wasn't there to help my husband. He had to take time off work. I have health insurance, but it doesn't cover everything. The Aflac policy helped me while I was out of work simply because it took the stress and the worry off. Aflac helped with copays, deductibles, and a lot of the upfront expenses. The Aflac insurance helped relieve my family's financial stress.
Welcome back. We're now joined by Lauren Linnaeus and Kelly Reed of Enterprise Iron. Well, Lauren, Kelly, it's great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us on the program this morning.
Hi. Thank you.
It's good to have you. And look, we're talking compliance this morning, and I'm going to tick off a couple things when I think of compliance. Plan restatements, Secure 2.0, the EARN Act. And these are some of the few changes that are being considered in the Congress or have already passed. And I have to ask, start with you, Lauren, if I'm an employer or plan sponsor, how can I keep my plan current with all these changes? I mean, it's a litany of things that I have to be concerned about.
Jeff, you're exactly right. Cycle 3 restatements just finished up earlier this summer on July 31st, and I'm sure that all the plan providers worked very hard to get their pre-approved plans restated before the deadline. We're also rolling straight into the second cycle 403B restatement period. That submission period for document providers ends on May 1st of 2023, and we anticipate that the IRS should approve those documents by the end of 2024, and we'll have another restatement deadline coming up shortly thereafter. More immediately, we have Secure and CARES amendments that are up in the air, and the IRS continues to change the deadlines around these, even just as recently as a week ago. The Secure Act was previously due at the end of 2022, but then in early August, the IRS issued notice that those were extended to 2025 in most cases. The CARES amendments remain due at the end of 2022, but then just last week, the IRS has also postponed those to 2025. So document providers have already released Secure and CARES Act documents. In some cases, they are a combined amendment. So now with the deadline extending all the way to 2025, it's possible that those amendments may even be combined with what you mentioned, the upcoming Secure 2.0 and EARN legislation. So most likely plan sponsors are scrambling to decide if they will move forward with those amendments as is, or if they will wait until closer to the deadline. Particularly with the CARES amendment, the amendment outlines what relief the plan offered during the 2020 calendar year. It's not an ongoing part of the adoption agreement. And from a housekeeping perspective, it might make sense to go ahead and document how your plan operated in 2020 rather than wait until 5 years after the fact to get that down on paper. So with Secure 2.0 and EARN on the horizon, those might possibly be finalized by the end of the year. More information should be released by the IRS next year. So this constant churn of legislation is going to continue for some time, and plan sponsors and providers should stay closely tuned into the IRS announcements that seem to drop without warning lately. It's also wise to stay in contact with your document providers to see what they recommend and what they are preparing and programming. And at Enterprise Iron, we also have compliance experts that are paying close attention to all of these latest developments and having discussions with players across the industry about what plans should be doing.
Yeah, and a really important point. Kelly, you're a compliance vet. I say that lovingly and fondly. Look, it's challenging, and as Lauren said, I mean, there's a lot to consider, and it's really challenging for plan sponsors right now. But if you don't get your plan document in line with your operation of your plan, that could prove very costly. And I'm thinking about some mistakes I made in the late 90s. I think you helped me when I was a record keeper. Are employer plan sponsors feeling overwhelmed right now by all these changes that Lauren really articulated quite well?
Yes, it can be overwhelming for sure. Documents are a challenging area because a lot of times what we have found is that the employers really don't understand what's in the documents. So it's very important to be in touch with that or to have a good document provider that really understands your document. Oftentimes we hear that people should review their documents annually to make sure they're in compliance, but I say it's even more often than that. Reviews are an ongoing process. Any change that a sponsor, an employer or plan sponsor is looking to make in the operation of their plan could impact the plan document. Something even as simple as an address change. Some plan documents include the address, some don't. So you really have to know what's in my document. And even with the best intentions, even with continual reviews, sometimes plans get out of line with what's in operation. So the IRS does have some really good checklists that people can use. It's called the Fix It Guide that they can keep up to date, looking at that, reviewing their document, making sure that everything is in compliance. Worst case scenario, if something does fall between the cracks, you have a bad out of compliance situation, your operation does not match your plan document, then there is the employee and plans compliance resolution, EPCRS, what we call EPCRS, that you can use to fix your mistakes. But that can get costly, as you said, Jeff.
Yeah, really costly. I've been on the end of that, I can say. Not when I was working with you, but in other capacities. Kelly, Lauren talked about some of these changes, and I think I heard, there's some delay with the IRS that the IRS granted to implement some of these changes. But you probably, if you're a plan sponsor, you probably don't want to wait, as you said. When's the best time? Do you do it to update your document? And again, I'm focused really on the individually designed plans. The prototype document generally are handled, you guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but generally handled by the document provider with some checkoffs and things like that from the sponsor. But when's the best time to work on complying with these new laws?
And then most of those changes are going to be made by an attorney. That can get costly. As Lauren mentioned, you really want to document these changes and keep track of what's going on with the document, because especially if you have to get an attorney involved with cost, you probably don't want to be doing that too often. We are seeing, though, that a lot of employers are moving towards prototype plans or pre-approved plans more so than individually designed plans. So if they can do that, that is the best cost savings option, because you don't have the same costs that you do with an attorney and an individually designed plan.
Yeah, and that uniformity, again, is a real benefit for the prototype. Can certainly understand why people are moving in that direction. Lauren, I want to ask you about feedback, and you have a lot of clients, you and the team at Enterprise Iron have a lot of clients as it relates to keeping plans in compliance. What's some of the feedback that you're getting from clients about these new regs? First, what they're going to plan to do about them and how they're going to handle their plan documents accordingly.
So obviously, this is a very busy period with new regulation right now. Clients do seem overwhelmed with keeping up with several plan document amendments for several different plan types and several different deadlines. Not all clients are making the same decisions and interpretations about what needs to be done. Some clients want to march forward with getting secure and CARES amendments done right away. Some are concerned with hitting their plans with another amendment fee so soon after third cycle restatements. Some really just want to focus on the 457 tax exempt plans that do appear to have not been extended with the deadline. So at Enterprise Iron, we will be hosting a roundtable discussion on this topic at the upcoming Spark Forum in November. We have a survey. We invite everyone to fill it out to let us know how you and your plan sponsors are navigating all these challenges. That survey can be found on our website at enterpriseiron.com or also here on the BRN network.
Yep, and we'll have that right below. If you're watching the program, you can certainly do that. If you're checking out our newsletter, it'll be there as well. People should participate. The only way that we understand or enterprise iron can understand client needs is certainly probably providing feedback. Lauren, Kelly, we're going to leave it there. Really great to see you. Good luck with the Spark Forum discussion. I'm jealous. I wish I could be there. I always love a good compliance conversation. Ladies, great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That wraps up this episode of BRN AM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to, drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the latest curated news and lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more, all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives, check out our latest content? We'll visit our website, and of course, all of our streaming partners. We're back again tomorrow for another edition of BRN AM. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe, keep on saving, and don't forget, roll with the changes. Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the first lifestyle and wellness network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.
Are you being audited and do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Is the IRS threatening to take more of your money? Don't fight the IRS alone. The Tax Doctor is here to help you negotiate your tax bill and reduce your stress. The IRS can freeze your assets and seize your bank accounts, but you can stop these IRS actions. The Tax Doctor will work with you using our years of experience to represent your case to help you get the best resolution under the IRS guidelines. Help is here to deal with the IRS to reduce your stress. We've handled thousands of cases, so we know what we're doing. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, do not call the IRS alone. Call a Tax Doctor now for a tax emergency analysis.
Call 800-224-6439.